Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1010. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Today, it's the debut of a new segment called The Word of Dog. Yes, we renamed it from The Word of the Wet Nose, which is also a humorous title. It's chock-a-block full of
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Chock-a-block full. I freaking hate that phrase. With interesting dog tips for dog lovers.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And dog-scaredy-cat-ers. And, okay, I'm singing. The Republican debate transpired last night, and it looked like Trump and Cruz had a fight. And a high squeaky Cruz said, "I'm American, all right?" And Trump said, "I'm attacking you because my poll numbers are sustaining blight." That's practically all we got out of those debates last night.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh, and that they hate Obama. The first primary happens in less than 3 weeks, so more drama
Mike's
is on the horizon.
Daily
Where's Minka Kelly
Podcast.
in all of this? Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
I mean, Nikki Haley. That's right. The Republican response girl. The governor of South Carolina girl. She has more brains than any of these empty buckets. But where is Minka Kelly anyway, is my question. That 35-year-old lovely. Isn't she amazing? Minka Kelly? You don't know who she is? She's wow. She had like a show, what? Charlie's Angels or something, and it bombed the show. She'll find something else. Maybe she already has, and I just haven't found it. I'm too busy watching Tom Selleck TV shows that my boss downloaded for me. He said, watch this Tom Selleck show. Yeah. Magnum PI. He's still around. He looks great. I met him once a long time ago, Westlake Village. I was at a restaurant with my then girlfriend, who was a redhead. We were having lunch at this place that apparently originated the Cobb salad. And as we go to our seats, I see Tom Selleck sitting with some people. I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. I went to use the bathroom. As I was leaving the bathroom, Tom Selleck came in, and he said hi, and I said hi. And then I saw him again when he came back to his table. So I saw him like 3 times. It was amazing. This show is called Jason Steele or Stone or something like that. James Joss Wheaton? I forget. And he's some kind of sheriff in some small town, and he's from L.A., and he's worked in South Central, and now he's dealing with small town folks in Massachusetts. And the guy, Saul Rubinek from Warehouse 13, was in this first episode. He ended up being a bad guy. And for some reason, all these young ladies keep throwing themselves at Tom Selleck in this show. I'm like, that's this guy's entire career, is young ladies throwing themselves at him. When he was on Friends, right, it was Courtney Cox, who was way younger than him at the time. And still is way younger than him, but they were dating, and they kept going, "Oh, wow, you're with an older man, whoa." It sucks to be Tom Selleck. I realize now that I cannot make phone calls. You know how you can just probably pick up a phone and call someone, and it's no big deal? Actually, 20-somethings have a difficult time calling people. It's all about the text. And I guess most people now, it's all about texting, because texting is so easy, even though it requires typing on a touch screen. And when you got huge thumbs like me, that can be problematic. And people, but now you can talk into your phone to text, which makes no sense. Why don't you just talk to the person? That's what the whole point of the phone was in the beginning. Back when I was a kid, talking on the phone with your best friend was the best thing ever. You could call them, you could be in your room, and actually I didn't have a phone in my room. I had to talk in the living room / kitchen area. So my mom got to overhear all my conversations, which was annoying. And then people started putting phones in their kids' rooms. And then people started having the handheld phones that you can walk around the house and talk with and have no cord, the cordless phones. And then you had the cell phones. And everybody has a cell phone. And now nobody wants to talk on them. They just want to text. Even though I don't get that. Because at one point, we were they were afraid that with everybody using the phone, we'll stop writing each other. We'll stop sending each other letters. And in a way, texts are like little letters we send, although we don't have to mess with the stamps and the annoying lines at the post office. And the people that work at the post office that are a little bit off. I'm sorry, and I mean that in a nice way. But you get to the front of the lot, you get to the desk finally, and sometimes you get someone who's like a normal person, but once in a while, my gosh, that person's been working at that post office forever, and it's taken its time. Oh, look who just walked in! Right now.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Mike, anyone that works anywhere for a long time ends up going a little bit crazy.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And how about like UPS drivers?
What?
I noticed that UPS drivers are crazy. I was walking down my street yesterday, and a UPS driver flew by. He was going like 80 miles an hour on this 20-mile-an-hour street. It was crazy. And this huge brown wall, this box, this metallic thing weighing tons is flying down the street. And the guy in the shorts is going as fast as he can. He's got to make all his deliveries. And it was around 5 o'clock, so that's the surreal time, as I was mentioning on the last show. Oh, and I also mentioned, I said Memphis, Alabama last show. I'm embarrassed. Memphis, Tennessee. I know there's many other things I need to be embarrassed about with this show, but yeah, it just flew by. They need to chill out. Because that, at least, if you're in a truck going super miles per hour, that's one thing. But if you're just sitting behind a desk in a post office helping people, that's another. You're not causing as much danger, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, whatever, Mike Matthews.
There's the Bay Area has a lot of water, obviously, because there's the bay. Interestingly enough, in the East Bay, not a lot of houses on the water. You could have this great view of the bay, but not that many houses are built on the bay because the bay, a lot of the bay shore is owned by like parks. The East Bay Regional Park District owns a huge swath of it. There's the Oakland Airport that takes up a big section. And the only place that I know of where it's like they're right on the water and there's like no walkway separating them from the water is this. I know from my ex-wife, her like cousin, who's older than me, owns this house on the water. I think she's one of the few people. I didn't realize the significance of that until I've lived here almost 7 years, that there's just no houses on the East Bay, even all the way down into the Silicon Valley where it touches the bay. There's like no houses on the water, which I find interesting because you would think all that's prime real estate to have views of the bay. Now you go on the peninsula side, there's a bunch of houses on the water, and there's a whole Foster City thing that's got waterways and everything a la Venice and that. And as I walked around enjoying people's wonderful houses and trying not to get hit by UPS drivers, I noticed that the Christmas lights are starting to fade. Very few people now have the Christmas lights on. Here we are halfway through January. They're slowly starting to vanish. And as I was walking my dog yesterday, Basil the Boxer, and we do have the word of dog coming up. Oh, but first, look who else just walked in. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer, Mike. What do you mean the Christmas lights are fading? People are taking them down. They haven't taken them down yet. No. But it should be Christmas all year long. I'm very sentimental about this sort of thing. And Christmas lights require electricity, and that's great. Uh-huh. Mike, we love it! I didn't realize I didn't peg you guys for Christmas lights up all year type guys. Yeah, that's what we are! We love them! I dress like Santa Claus! John Deere loves that! Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, well, the other thing I was gonna... lightning! I was walking Basil, and all of a sudden there was lightning off in the distance, and the rain was just pouring down, and you don't see that very often in the Bay Area. But the boom from the lightning, the thunder, Basil freaked out. He looked at me like, what the hell? He did. He gave me a what the hell. It's crazy when a dog gives you a what the hell look. My last point is that I worked in Alabama, worked for this guy that was a total ogre. He looked kind of like an ogre. His name was Bill West. He has completely vanished off the internet. I've looked all over the place for him. I was telling someone I work with at another radio station that I worked for this guy. And he's like, Bill West, yeah, I know him. I met him. And we looked at the picture of the guy that he thought was Bill West on the internet. It was not the same guy. So then I remembered I had taken a photo with Bill West when we launched a country station in Huntsville, Alabama. And I have a picture of me, like, shaking his hand, which was so weird in my memory to see that picture because he was just not a pleasant person to work for, and I don't think I would shake his hand now. I could not find that picture. I did a complete search of every hard drive I have. I cannot find that picture. It's almost as if someone deleted it, or someone went in and deleted everything that relates to Bill West. It's weird. Anyway, he's gone. He's completely vanished off the end. Now I wonder if that was a whole nightmare that I had, if he didn't really exist at all. I just made the whole thing up. I know, it's scary. So check out the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. We don't no addendum with Kevin today. I'm so sad. He got really busy and couldn't have him on. So maybe the next Friday. But yeah, mikesdailypodcast.com has all my past interviews. You can hear past addendums with Kevin's that are really funny. There's the podcast picture, links to all the places you can listen to the show. There's the Amazon link, too, if you want to help us out and you're going to buy something on Amazon anyway. Go through that link at mikesdailypodcast.com. Just click on it and buy whatever it was you were going to buy on Amazon, and it helps us out. And there's the what do you call it? PayPal. And if you click on that and donate to the show, you'll get a special something from all the Cafe Anyway characters. And you'll become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster. Nikki Haley. Hope she kicks out Cruz and Trump. They just freak me out, those guys. Weird. As much as Bill West did. As much as UPS drivers do. As much as the phone scares me and I can't call up certain people I need to call up. I'm just trying to make phone calls I just hate calling insurance. Still trying to find my health insurance before the open enrollment ends at the end of the year. And I just hate making those calls. Yeah. And yes, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, where to find all that. Now our news segment.
The Word of Dog.
It's called The Word of Dog. And that is Basil the Boxer making his little growling noises he likes to do when he wants to play. I have had a dog now for 6 years. I had a dog when I was a kid, probably around 8 or 9. I got my first dog. My mom got us a Dalmatian we called Freckles. And we ended up having a lot of dogs. For some reason, we didn't have Freckles for very long. I think my mom gave the dog to the SPCA because Freckles tore everything up. We were bad dog trainers, is what I'm trying to say. So when I got Basil the Boxer, I said, no, this time around, I'm going to go to dog training. So that would be the first word of dog is, thou shalt go to the dog trainer when thou get your dog. Go train. Now, the dog trainer trains you more than the dog gets trained, because you need to know all about the psychology of canines, and you need to understand not to be afraid of them, to understand their whole psychology. By the way, if you don't have a dog and you never want to get a dog, that's fine. That's your thing. Don't be afraid of dogs. The world of news is always showing the things about pit bulls. These are pit bulls that were mistreated, that have become crazy, like someone that's abused in a household and they become crazy and kill the person that's causing them abuse. That's what this dog is going through. It's a turmoil inside. A properly cared for dog will not have these issues. Dogs are not killing machines instinctively. They want to please you. They want to be part of a pack. If you see them in the wild, that's what they do. They're part of a pack. They help each other out. They find food together. They're empathetic dogs. They're empathetic. They sense emotion. They sense in the wild. They are looking for the weak animals that they can prey on, the deer and whatnot, an injured deer, for example, or something. They want to prey on that, and they sense if something is weak, and they have this sense, is what I'm saying. Not only the nose, the wet nose that picks up all the smells and whatnot, and who knows what they're smelling, that can also tell them things. So the first part, though, is go to a dog trainer. I went to a class with about 10 other dogs, which was great for me because it got me sensitized to my dog being around other dogs, and to calm down if my dog barks at another dog or a dog barks at him. That's going to happen. That happens with all dogs, no matter how well trained they are. They have to bark, and when they bark, they're protecting you. That's the main thing to remember. It's not like they want to start a fight. They want to protect you. So I guess that's the word of dog for today. Go to a... So it doesn't have to be a really expensive dog trainer. I went to one at my local Podcastro Valley Adult School, and it was on Saturday mornings. And now Basil, every time we passed by, it was in a gym that was there on their campus. Every time we pass by that school, he always pulls me to that gym, even though that class ended 5 years ago. He still pulls me there, and so I'll end up over at the gym looking inside the door of the gym, and there's generally women doing some kind of aerobics class or, a dance class of some kind, and they're all in their leotards, and they're all about my age and older, and I'm like, thank you, Basil. And the women turn around and see Basil, and they're like, oh, cute dog with big jowls, boxers. So we'll do another word of dog very soon. I have more tips and experiences that I have learned that I would love to share with you. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the podcast picture is of the wonderful, another Huntsville picture. This is also taken at Hampton Cove. As I mentioned before, I got very sort of sentimental as I was about to leave Alabama, and I took a bunch of pictures of